Okay, good evening, everyone. Thanks again for coming out tonight to listen to some information about the online MBA here at the University of Miami. Should have a pretty good time this evening. We've got some good stuff we're going to be showing you and some really cool things inside the online classroom to give you a really good feel of what it's like to be a student here. So my name's Eric. I'm one of the enrollment advisors here at the University of Miami. I've been down here for about a year now. I guess coming up in the next couple of weeks here, a year. I graduated from University of Virginia in 2013 as a history major, and I'm actually working on my MBA online myself. So should have some pretty good insights for you guys. I'm sure a lot of you have questions about what program is going to be right for you, pricing questions, admissions questions, what it's like to be an online student, and some of the obstacles, when you are taking your classes. So during the webinar, definitely feel free to send me over any questions you have about things like that. But happy to be here and talking with you guys this evening. So for the webinar tonight, it should last about 30 minutes. If at any point there's anything that isn't clear and you do want to go back and look at it again, we are going to be recording this and posting it to our YouTube page. You can go back, take a look at any of the materials there that we've shown. We've also got some other good videos that we've recorded on there. There's some videos of all the other enrollment advisors that are here at the university, some stuff about the other programs, the finance program, and a couple other webinars that we've done specific to the MBA program for you to take a look at. You will notice as an attendee, there is a question and answer window that you can go ahead and type into. The main thing to remember for this webinar is this really is for you guys. So if you do have any questions that you think of, go ahead and send them over to me. Throughout the webinar, I'll do my best to answer them as quickly as possible. And after the fact, if I don't get to them, I'll try and answer them at the end as well. At the same time, we are going to be live tweeting during the webinar. Feel free to follow us and ask any questions there as well. But like it says at the end, the main thing, this is for you guys to ask questions and really get a better feel for the online program here. So just remember that this is for you guys. All right, so a quick agenda for the evening. We're going to start off with just kind of a brief overview about the MBA program and its development here at the University of Miami. I'm then going to take you guys into the classroom itself. That's one of the big questions we get from students is, how they're going to get the information and what they're actually going to be learning. We'll finish everything off by going through the admissions process, what it takes to be an online student here, some of the different criteria that we look at, and then I'll end again by answering any other questions that I didn't get to. Okay, so to start off, like I said, let's just take a brief look at the online program itself. So the program set up so it's going to be 42 credits long. And for most students, that's going to take about 24 months to completion. What a standard full-time student will be doing, they'll be taking one class every 7 weeks with a week break in between courses. Each semester that you take is 16 weeks long, so it means each semester you'll be taking 2 classes, but not at the same time, obviously. Most students find that one class at a time to be pretty good for balancing any other full-time commitments that they have work-wise or at home, and still being able to focus in on that one course and get all the material done and really absorb it at the level that they need to. So one big question I also get a lot from students, aside from the structure, is about the faculty and about the degree itself here. So with this program, as you can see listed here, it's the same exact faculty from the on-campus program. They're the ones that actually developed and are implementing this online program. So the same people you'd have if you came here to Coral Gables to attend the program would be the same ones that you'll be having in the online classroom, which is pretty cool. The same thing that they've communicated to us as well is that this is definitely not any kind of watered down version of the degree. It's the same exact curriculum that they go through in the on-campus. So obviously it is a big investment of time, but it is the same material. So you're going to come out just as prepared as if you'd done this on campus. One of the questions I'm getting here from students actually right now is they're asking about the degree itself. And that is something that we do get a lot. The degree, when you get it, It's not going to say that you took the degree online. It is going to be the exact same degree that you would get from coming to the campus to do the MBA. And actually, one cool fact that I do tell students is, since it is the same degree, you are actually going to be invited to walk at the graduation ceremony with both the online and the on-campus students. Okay. All right, so let's take a look through some of the courses that you'd actually be taking for this program. And that's obviously another big question that we get a lot. So as you can see, there's 13 courses total that you'll be taking. It is a standard MBA, meaning there isn't a set focus to it, but the curriculum is made up so that it's going to be a very well-rounded learning experience that you're going to get. You've got courses in finance there, accounting. You've definitely got quite a few management courses. And you do also have some legal courses and operations management and information systems. So it's really good for someone who's looking to move into maybe, if you do want to move into more of a finance role, you think you want to go into more a hedge fund manager or money manager position, you'll definitely gain the skills from this program. If you're someone who's, maybe not as quantitative focused and you are looking for more of supply chain management or project management, this degree is still going to fulfill those requirements and skill sets that you need to be successful. Now, one thing to really highlight, you will see at the very end there, is there's also a Miami residency or elective course that's listed in there. The reason for that, the elective course, if you're someone who is, you're not going to be able to make it here to Coral Gables, you know that for a fact, what you're able to do is for that last course that you take there, you can pick from any of our online courses that we offer, and you can take that in there. So sports administration, the finance program, accounting, public health, anything like that can be your final course that you take. If you do want to come down here to the campus, though, there is going to be a Miami residency course that you can enroll in. It's going to be for 1 week long, so obviously you'd need to be able to travel and take a little bit of time off work potentially. But that one week course will count for credit, and it will count as your final course for completing the program. So it is a cool way if you do want to get to meet the faculty and be a part of the on-campus program. Now, for some people, one other question I just got from a student here is about any other components where you'd be able to come on campus. So there actually is another component. If 1 week is going to be a little bit too long, before each semester, starting the program, and for the fall semester here for for September 7th, we are going to be having an optional on-campus orientation as well. The orientation is going to be August 29th. It'll be one full day that Saturday, where you get to meet the faculty, you'll get to take a tour of the campus, and you'll get to network with some of the other classmates that you're going to be going through the program in. So it is a really great way to get that face-to-face interaction if that's something that's important to you. But again, the residency and the orientation, those are optional for students, and we do know that for some people, traveling all the way to Coral Gables could be a little bit difficult. Okay, perfect. So, all right, so let me go ahead. Let me actually take you guys over to something pretty cool here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the classroom itself. So this is probably one of the things that a lot of you guys here in the webinar are really interested in taking a look at. So this is actually from the first course that you guys would be taking. This is the BUS 640 finance course. So as you can see, the way the program's set up, it is in Blackboard. So for all of you that have done online classes before, you may be fairly familiar with this setup and navigating. On the left-hand side, there's going to be your different navigation tools. When you come into your classroom for the first time, you can see it automatically takes you into this announcements section. The announcements section, it's always important to check. This is where the faculty members are going to post different relevant information to you and your other classmates. As you can see here, Professor Birch, the first professor in the program, he's talked a little bit about what's upcoming. He's going to be out of town. and just to expect with the grading. So a pretty cool function to to stay in touch with the other classmates and the professors themselves. Another big question we get a lot from students is with regards to the syllabus to the program, and people ask, how am I going to be able to budget my time, as a full-time working adult? So you can see if you click here, from the first day that you come into your classroom, you've actually got access to your syllabus here. And if you go to the course schedule, everything for the next 7 weeks has already been laid out for you. So you can see from the start exactly what's going to be expected of you. And one good thing that you will notice about this course is that it does kind of follow a pattern to it. So each week you've got an assignment Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So you will get a very good pattern to things. Each week you're going to kind of fall into a rhythm to get everything done on time. All right. So I did just have a question from a student. So for anyone that just came in or maybe missed the beginning, this program, the MBA for the fall, it is starting here for September 7th will be the first day of class. The deadline to apply for that is August 17th, so there is definitely still time if you think it's something you're interested in. But we do have 3 start dates a year. So it will be a fall start, a spring start, and a summer start. So you do have quite a bit of flexibility. All right, so aside from the syllabus, one of the other really cool sections here that we have incorporated into your classroom is going to be this course messaging system. So with the course messaging system, so the way you communicate with your professor is going to be slightly different for each course that you take, and from the professor's, what the best means he finds for talking with students. Some of them will give out their phone numbers directly. Other professors are actually going to give out, their personal email, and then others will actually use this course messaging system here. The great thing with this course messaging system is obviously it's built directly into your classroom itself. It works just the same as an email where you're able to attach documents in and send them over to the professor, but you can also change the privacy settings so other people in your class can see them, and the professor can comment back and send them to not just you, but make it public in kind of more the course announcements kind of style. The other thing you'll notice here on the left-hand side is the technical support button here. So obviously we all know sometimes technology doesn't work perfect. As an online student here, you are going to have access to a 24-hour student support team. Any kind of issues that come up, you will be able to reach them, and they should be able to sort everything out for you. Now let's take a look at actually the weeks themselves. So along with the syllabus, from the first day that you go into your courses, like I said, you actually have access to every single week of the program. So every assignment is open to you from the first day. Let's go ahead and take a look at week 2 here. So again, this is the second week of the finance course, and this is exactly what it would look like for you. Okay, so when you come in here, you'll see it automatically takes you into an introduction here. Let's go ahead and let that load here for a second. All right, and so you've got a video here that the professor has presented for this week for the topics. You've also got a quick cutout of the syllabus here that you can take a look at and reference. And then one of the really cool things that we get a lot of questions about is the accessibility and the flexibility aspect of the program. So with regards to the syllabus, although you have these dates on here for when the assignments are due, there actually aren't any set class times where you have to be logged in doing the work. So these are the deadlines that you have to meet, but if you know you have something coming up on Wednesday, you can do the check your knowledge problems, that Monday or Tuesday. It is completely up to you, but these are just the absolute deadline that you have to meet. Now we did get a question from a couple of students here about the admissions. If you want, actually at the very end of the webinar, I'm going to take you guys through some of the admissions criteria. So go ahead and just hold up on those for just a couple minutes, but I'll definitely make sure to get to those as well. Now down at the bottom, One of the other things you'll notice is that the weekly download here. So at the beginning of each week, you can come to this section. You'll actually be able to download all the material that you need for that week. If you know, for example, you're going to be traveling, if you're going to be on the go with the kids, you can have this downloaded to your tablet or to your computer and be able to re-access it for the rest of the week. So that is a pretty cool feature there. So to take a look a little bit more at the specific problems that are going to be asked of you. So again, there aren't any set class times or any set lecture times, and that's one of the big misconceptions students have when they're looking at an online program. So all these videos that you have here are downloadable, and you can play them, over and over. But you'll never be asked to log in at 8 o'clock on Monday and watch something with Professor Birch. Now for this class, what Professor Birch has set up is you'll have at the start of each week a check your knowledge section, which kind of serves as a little bit of a litmus test for you to see, how you're doing with the reading. Are you understanding the material? And you see he's kind of laid out the different the readings that he'll want you to do from the textbook, as well as a couple PowerPoint slides that he's set up for you guys. After going through those, you'll go through a couple problems. Usually those are just going to be for completion. And you can see, how you're doing with everything. The other thing you saw from the syllabus there is you will also have some work problems that'll be asked of you. Again, these will vary from professor to professor, and obviously for some of the management courses that be a little bit different since it's going to be a little bit less quantitative. But the work problems again are typically for completion, making sure that you understand everything. I've actually downloaded here the week 2 work problems, so you can kind of see what they're going to look like. Obviously, you need to pledge it, and we do ask that it is on your honor, right, that you did do the work. But this would be a sample problem that you'd be asked to do. One really cool thing that the faculty does with the all the quantitative work is they'll actually go ahead and scan this in and upload it over to them. What they'll do is they'll be able to correct your work and give you a lot more direct feedback on how you did. So it's not just going to be punching in a number, getting a wrong answer, and not having any kind of insight into where you went wrong with everything. The other cool thing they've done for the work problems here is you see they also included some of the suggested solutions. So right here, this is actually what it looks like, the suggested solutions to the work problem. So if you, after taking the work problems, you're really kind of struggling, you weren't sure on your answers, you can come over here. It gives you the different answers, and it gives you a brief description there. So let's say you've gone through the work problems and you've done the check your knowledge for the week, you've watched all the different videos and read through the PowerPoints, and you're still feeling a little bit unsure. There's a couple more things that you can do to get yourself ready for the quiz you can see you have there at the end of the week. You've got this faculty corner section that's listed up here at the top. So obviously you can reach out to your professor at any time and they'll be responding back to you, whether it be email, phone, or through the course messaging system. But your professor's also going to hold different office hours throughout the week in a very similar fashion that you may be used to from your bachelor's degree or from any other kind of on-campus program that you've done before. With this, what you can do is with the office hours, you'll actually use Adobe Connect to log in a conference call type of setting and actually speak with Professor Birch directly. So here's a look into the faculty corner itself. And with this, he's actually recorded the office hours that he had for this week, going over some of the problems. On the right-hand side, you can also see he's actually laid out a couple more videos for some problems that some students had a little bit of difficulty on. So one question I just got from students before I show you some of these office hours was about the on-campus requirement I was speaking about earlier. So I apologize if I wasn't clear on that, but actually the on-campus orientation that you have before the class starts and the on-campus course, those are both optional. So you do have the option to come to those, but if you're not going to be able to make it, we understand, and there is the online elective course that you can take in lieu of that on-campus course. But let's go ahead, let's take a look actually at this office hour that Professor Birch held. So this is actually a a look at the office hour itself, the Adobe Connect session that he had. So you can see in this section, he's going over a problem here, and he's actually going through and works through the problems with the students to highlight some of the questions that they had for everything. So it is a really cool way to get that interactive component to the course, even though you are doing it in the online setting. And he does a pretty good job, of illustrating everything and answering all the questions as they come in from students in this office hour setting. Okay. All right. So the next thing I did want to go over is one of the students in this session asked about the layout of the course and what we went through today, if this is what they should expect for their class for the first day. So one of the really cool things is that each of the faculty members was able to kind of create the course how they saw it best for their students. So each class that you take is going to be a little bit different in the structure and the layout that you're going to be taking. Obviously, like we saw on that list before, taking a finance course is going to be a little bit different from an operations management course, which is going to be different again from a statistical analysis or legal implications course. So each course you take is going to be slightly different, and it is the faculty's vision for how they saw their course fitting into the online classroom. So one thing I did also want to do, I'm glad this question was asked, was take you over here to another classroom. And this is actually the sports administration class from one of the classes from the sports administration masters that we offer. And this could be one of the courses that you take as one of your elective classes in the MBA program. As you can see with this one, it's still in Blackboard, and it does still have the same navigation tools listed here on the left-hand side. One thing that's different is if we go here and we click on week 1, you can see the faculty have laid this one out in a little bit different fashion. Instead of having that kind of static section there for each week, it is laid out so that you'd scroll down the page here, and it's going to kind of take you through chronologically through all the different assignments that you're going to have here. If you ever get lost, though, you do have the navigation tools here at the top to take you through all the different sections that are in this week 1 page. And you also have access to a faculty corner just the same way. So a course that you take could look a little bit more like this, or it could be more like that first finance course that we went through. All right, so let's head back over. A few more things to go through here with the MBA. So after taking a look through all the information, one of the other questions that we get a lot from students, aside from just, what is the course like, how am I going to learn with everything, is about the admissions process itself, and how do I actually become a student? What is that process like? And we got a question from a student earlier about that. So there's a couple different things that we look at for admission. Obviously, first and foremost, we are going to take a look at your transcripts. And we will take a look at your undergrad GPA. Anyone is definitely encouraged to apply, or at least give us a call and talk to you about it. It is a wide range of GPAs that we look at, because in addition to the GPA, we are also going to take a look at your resume, and we're going to take a look at your work experience that you've done. Based on those two things, you can see there is a GMAT test that we do sometimes look for. There are cases where we can actually waive that GMAT requirement for students, so definitely feel free to give us a call, and we can take you through if that's something that that'd be applicable to you. But we do also look for 2 letters of recommendation and a brief goal statement from students. And for the goal statement, just a little bit about yourself and why you're interested in the program here. There are actually several different scholarships that we are going to be offering to students as well. That was the other question that I just got. So for anyone that actually starts here for the fall of 2015, there are going to be scholarships that we are going to be awarding to students. Most students that apply are going to be eligible, so definitely give us a call and we can go through those for you. The other thing with the admissions I was just asked as well was about the strength of the GMAT scores or GPA and what kind of things how we weigh those. everything in this list that we've shown here, we are going to weigh those together. So it's not just, if you have a, a little bit lower GPA, but a little bit higher GMAT, that can balance everything out. But it is going to be, on the whole, everything that we look at. Like I was talking about before, if you would like to start here for September 7th for the fall start date, there is definitely still time to apply. It's going to be August 17th that the deadline is going to be. So you have about a week and a half here still to get everything in. For students that start for the fall start date, there is that on-campus orientation, which is going to be August 29th, actually. So a couple weeks before the first day of class. After that, though, we do have a January start date. It is January 11th. The deadline for that one, December 21st. So definitely still time to apply for that one as well. Okay. And then you've also see we've got listed there at the bottom, we do have a link over to the online application if you guys want to go ahead and take a look at the application itself. So a couple other questions that were asked. So one student was asking about some of the challenges to completing a degree online, and what are some of the things that a student can do to address these challenges. And there's obviously a lot of different things for different people. One of the big questions we do get in the enrollment office is about time management, and what is it going to be like for me budgeting my time here. As I kind of addressed at the beginning, it's definitely a big commitment heading back to school. We definitely tell students that they're entering into something that's pretty serious for the next 2 years, but definitely something manageable. We usually tell students to budget out about 20 to 30 hours of work a week. So, you will want to look at your schedule to see if that is going to be something that's going to fit in for you and that you're going to be motivated to succeed with. The other big thing, obviously, is doing it online. There's never going to be a time where you have to go into your class, which is a good thing since you have that flexibility. But obviously, you do have to stay motivated to get the work done. So that can be one of the challenges for people for, when they come home from work, sitting down to their desk and finding that motivation to go in and actually get the work done. One thing you will have as a resource, though, is obviously you do have all your other classmates in the faculty, and as you can see, you can communicate with them through the in-class discussions. Your faculty members very accessible, and you do also have the different office hours that you'll be communicating with them in. Each class that you take, it's going to be about 20 to 30 students in your class, sometimes even less. So we keep them very small, so the faculty members are going to know you, and you'll know them, and you're going to know your other classmates on a very intimate level. So you will have that networking aspect to it as well. So the time management and actually sitting down and getting the work, those are probably the biggest things, the biggest challenges that we hear from online students, but it's definitely not something that you can't overcome. Another question we got from students is about the letters of recommendation here. So for the letters of recommendation, that was back on the last slide we looked at for the admissions process. Those can be from anyone that you like. As long as it's not a family member, it can be from an employer, it can be from an academic source, from a professor that you just had. For those, you will actually need to have the recommender send those directly to your enrollment advisor here in the office. That's one of the reasons you will want to get in contact with an enrollment advisor if you think this is something that you do want to move forward with. They can send you over. There is a specific template that the recommenders need to follow. So it is important that you contact us, let us know you're interested, and we can definitely send you the information to forward to your recommenders so that they can get that over to us. But it will be in the form of a PDF document that they'll send over, and the template that we send is very straightforward to follow. And again, another question a student asked, so it is normally about 20 to 30 hours of work a week is what we'd be saying as far as the study time. So it is definitely a commitment, like I said, but most students do find that pretty manageable. If you think about it, you've got 7 days a week. You're looking at a couple hours each night, maybe a little bit extra on the weekends. One thing you can do, though, since it is completely flexible to you and you don't have the set class times, you'll be able to look ahead. If you know you have something coming up on Saturday, you're going to be traveling out of town, go ahead during the week, get everything done, and take that day off. That's one of the tactics that I actually use for myself in my own studies. Okay, we'll wait just a couple more minutes to see if any other questions come in. Again, my name is Eric. I'm one of the enrollment advisors here. Definitely feel free to send me over an email after the webinar. I should be in the office all day tomorrow and Friday, and can definitely help you guys move forward if it's for the fall start date or for the January start date. Definitely go ahead and check out our website. There are a few course descriptions on the website there if you want to go through the courses in additional detail. And there is a link as well to the online application. Okay, one other question we got here was about the books for the course, and I apologize if I didn't cover that in quite the detail we should have. So in the classroom itself, you will have different PDFs and PowerPoints that the professors have posted in there for you to use. You also have access to an online library that you can use as well. In addition, though, you will have textbooks that you will be asked to purchase. Normally with those, we tell students you can get them from any sort of resource, any kind of place that you like. You don't have to get them from here at University of Miami, but you will have a traditional textbook that you'll be able to use. So there will be those aspects from the on-campus you're very familiar with, and some of the new pieces of technology that we covered tonight that'll help integrate that into the online setting. Another student asked about just recently for students that have completed their degree from outside of the U.S. about the TOEFL test. For that, you'll definitely want to go ahead and get in contact with your academic advisor. All the admissions criteria that you saw listed on the previous slide, it is going to vary a little bit from person to person since, like I said, it is based off a compilation of those elements, not just each individual element itself. So definitely feel free to send me over an email. I can discuss that on a little bit more of a discuss that with you on a little bit more of a personal level, and get that figured out for you. Okay, great. Well, thank you guys so much again for attending. Anything else that wasn't answered that you would like answered, shoot me over an email or feel free to give us a call here in the office tomorrow. Thanks again, everyone.